Hi friends, welcome to Beautifully Bookish Bethany. Today is the start of my March vlog style book haul. Hey y'all, this is Bethany from the end of the month, letting you know that this is going to be my last formal book haul like this for a while. This is not to say that you won't still have an opportunity to see what things publishers are sending me after this month, but I am currently trying to change up some things with my content to make it feel more fresh and exciting for me and also hopefully for you. And I have just not been that excited about making book hauls in this form for a while. So I hope you enjoy this last hurrah, at least for the foreseeable future. Here are my plans going forward. For publisher mail, I'm gonna start doing probably weekly shorts videos, unboxing those. So you'll still get to see things that are coming in, but it's gonna be shorter form content instead of a lengthy vlog. Then what I may do is occasionally do some form of like a come book shopping with me video. I may also do like a birthday book haul, things that are more occasional rather than monthly, and the sort of regular mail that I'm getting from publishers you're going to start seeing in shorts. So heads up that that is a change that is happening. Now back to Bethany of the past. I hope you enjoy this book haul vlog. I've got a Barnes & Noble order to open and some publisher mail from Tachon Press. Let's start with that. So they are a small press that does primarily science fiction and fantasy. And I know they had emailed me about a couple of titles, so this is probably one of them. Oh, yay! Okay, I'm excited about this because I loved the other book they published in this series, Yoke of Stars by R.B. Lemberg. This is part of the Birdverse, which is a really unique queer norm fantasy world that does a lot with gender diversity. The writing was so good. What was the other one? The Unbalancing. Yes, they published The Unbalancing. It was a 5-star read for me. I loved it, so I'm very excited to read more. And this is not very long. Oh, it's a novella too. So less than 200 pages, and it comes out July 16th. So thank you to Tachyon. Next is my order from Barnes & Noble, and if this is what I think it is, it's my book for Patreon book club in March. So this will not be on my TBR for long. Let's see if I'm right. Yep. There she is. It is The Good House by Tananarive Due. I love Tananarive Due and I'm excited. I've heard such great things about this one. It is a horror novel that is a haunted house story that is dealing with grief and loss of a child. Her writing is just so good. So I'm very excited to read this and discuss at the end of the month. Hello! I have a lot of book mail to open and I have a bunch of things that I picked up at a festival. Oh my god. Okay, so here's what happened. My local Barnes & Noble is the flagship store in New York City, and they did a whole book festival. And I got tickets to the second day, and it was really cool and fun. And I ended up buying slightly more books than I intended, but then I also got some books for free. And so I ended up with quite a number of new books from that event. Additionally, I have a package from a patron with books. I don't know what they are. I opened it enough to see that there was like gift receipts in it, but I don't know what the books are. I've got 2 packages from publishers and I have my book of the month box. It's fine. Everything is gonna be fine. Did I also just subscribe to another Kickstarter for Brandon Sanderson because he's got another secret project? Yes. You know, it's fine. Everything is Everything's great. I'm really excited about all the books though. But my TBR project, oh my god, it'll work out in the end, right? That's what I'm gonna keep telling myself. Anyway, let's open my book of the month box and then we will get into everything else. I do have a lot of really good stuff though. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this month I have 2 books. One is my main pick for the month, and the other one is because I'm a Book of the Month BFF, I get to pick one of their award winners or runners up because they do like a book of the year. And so I decided to grab the book of the year because I read another book by this author last year and really liked it. That is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. So this I knew is a contemporary romance of some sort. It's kind of thick. Like, more than I was expecting. Oh, maybe the pages are just thick, because it's not that bad. I mean, it's less than 400 pages. A novel of terrible first impressions, hilarious second chances, and joy in finding your perfect match from the best-selling author of Part of Your World. So I loved Part of Your World. It was one of my favorite books that I read last year. So I thought this would be fun. So I grabbed that for free. And then my official pick for the month was A Fate Inked in Blood by Daniel Johnson. I just had to do this. The reviews look pretty good for the most part. It's a fantasy romance. A shield maiden blessed by the gods battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king while fighting her growing desire for his fiery son in this Norse-inspired fantasy romance. I mean, it sounds fun. So those are my book of the month books. I always get excited when they have a fantasy. Next, let's do publisher mail. I've got something from Penguin. I think I know what this is. I'm planning to read it this month. Yes, this is exciting. Okay, so Penguin Teen sent me a finished copy of Just Another Epic Love Poem by Parisa Akbari. This sounds really good and the reviews have been amazing. So this is partly prose, partly in verse, a YA sapphic romance and coming of age story that is more on the literary end. People seem to really love it. For the past 5 years, Mitra Esfahani has known two constants: her best friend, Bea Ortega, and the book, a dog-eared notebook in which she and Bea have been exchanging poems since they were 13. The rules of the book are simple: no lies, no secrets, and no punctuation. This is a never-ending poem, as epic and everlasting as their friendship. Nothing is too messy or complex for the book. Not Mitra's convoluted feelings about her absent mother, or Bea's heartache over her most recent breakup. Nothing, except the one thing with the power to change their entire friendship: the fact that Mitra is helplessly in love with Bea. Whew, man. So yeah, heard really good things about this. Thank you so much to Penguin Teen. I'm very excited to pick this up. It comes out this month in March. So we'll be reading that quite soon. Then I've got a package from Tachon, I believe. Yeah, Tachon Publications. I get books from them quite a bit. They're this great small press that focuses primarily on science fiction and fantasy books. Oh, there we go. Got the package. Okay. Not 100% sure what this is. I know I agreed to a couple things recently from them. Okay. Oh, yes, this is exciting. This is Runes of Engagement by Dave Kletchia and Tobias S. Bucknell, and it is going on sale June 18th. I said yes to this because the premise sounded interesting, and the last thing that they published by Tobias Bucknell was fantastic. I loved it. So this is The Lord of the Rings meets Slaughterhouse-5 by way of World of Warcraft. Super interesting. In this delirious mashup pitting the US military against legendary monsters from fantasy novels and role-playing games. I mean, it sounds fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you to them. I'll check that out. Then we have this package. They put paper over the books, so I don't know what they are yet, but I did find all of the notes from Stephanie. So thank you to Stephanie. She's one of my wonderful patrons. Happy Women's History Month. Celebrating Ladies is the name of the game. I'm also very excited about this one. And happy March. So I'm guessing we have books by or about women in here. I don't know what these are, so let's find out together, shall we? Okay, first one. Oh, yay! Okay, I have been meaning to buy this for myself for so long, and I keep putting it off, and now I have it. Yay, A Scatter of Light by Melinda Lowe. I loved Last Night at the Telegraph Club, which I'm not usually a big historical fiction person, but I loved it. It was so good. And this one is a queer coming-of-age story set against the backdrop of the first major Supreme Court decisions legalizing gay marriage. Set 60 years after Last Night at the Telegraph Club, and it's a companion novel, which is very exciting. So thank you. Oh, yay. I'm really pleased to have that. I've been wanting to read that one. What else? Yes! Oh, yay. Okay. Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang. I also really wanted this because I loved her, I have like the Sword of Kaigan special edition. This is her latest book. I've also heard good things about it. Magic has made the city of Tehran an industrial utopia, but magic has a cost, and the collectors have come calling. As an orphan, I just think her writing is great. Oh, standalone dark academia, brimming with mystery, tragedy, and the damning echoes of the past. I mean, I am all about dark academia. Thank you. That's exciting. Okay, next. Ah, yes! Oh, this is such a good box. Oh my God. Island Witch by Amanda Jayatissa. This looked so good. This is a new debut. It's like horror and it sounded really good. Set in 19th century Sri Lanka and inspired by local folklore, Island Witch follows the daughter of a traditional demon priest, relentlessly bullied by peers and accused of witchcraft herself, as she tries to solve the mysterious attacks that have been terrorizing her coastal village. It sounds so good. I love the cover. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is great. And lastly, yay! Better Hate Than Never by Chloe Leese. Oh, yes. This is a contemporary romance retelling of Taming of the Shrew. Yay! Okay, these are books that I have like thought about buying for myself and hadn't yet. So thank you, Stephanie. That is amazing. I am very happy to have all of those. That's awesome. Lastly, let me show you all of the books that I picked up at the Barnes & Noble Book Fest. Okay, so here's the deal. I went in knowing that I was gonna buy at least 2 books because I had to buy them to get into some of the signing lines. And then I ended up buying 4 books instead of 2. So I bought 2 extras, but I also got some ARCs and a free physical book. So we've got a nice stack here. I'm gonna tell you, one of these ARCs made my day. So excited. But we're gonna start with the books that I bought. Also, it was so much fun. There was a panel. I got to meet authors, get books signed. They had early copies of Murder Road by Simone St. James. So of course, I had to get that. Got the signed, got one of my other faves from her signed as well. This is her latest thriller. A young couple find themselves haunted by a string of gruesome murders committed along an old deserted road in this terrifying new novel. So we'll see. I have mostly really enjoyed her books. There's been like a miss for me, but mostly the stuff I've read from her I've really liked, so I have that, which is exciting. I also got to meet who I love. I brought a couple of my books that I already had read and loved from him to get signed, and then because I needed to buy a new one, I got the Pallbearers Club, which sounds really interesting. What if the coolest girl you've ever met decided to be your friend? So this one deals with somebody who started an extracurricular club for volunteer pallbearers at poorly attended funerals. And then his new friend thinks it's cool and starts bringing along a Polaroid camera to take pictures of the corpses, which is kind of weird. And I don't know. Oh, ooh, I like this. It's got like, I didn't know, it's got like little like margin notes, marginalia in it. I love that. Okay, well that'll be really fun. Anyway, so I got a copy of that, got it signed. Thank you to Paul Tremblay. And while I met him, I also got a special edition ARC that he signed with the slipcase for his latest book that is coming out this summer. I had been waiting to try to get approved on NetGalley for it and hadn't been. So when I tell you, y'all, oh my God, this like made my day. Horror movie. This sounds so good. I think it comes out in what, June or July? Okay, June 24th. A chilling twist on the cursed film genre. Set in 1993 with a group of young guerrilla filmmakers who spent 4 weeks making horror movie, a notorious disturbing art house horror flick. The weird part, only 3 of the film scenes were ever released to the public, but it's grown a rabid fan base. 3 decades later, Hollywood is pushing for a big budget reboot because of course they are. There's only 1 surviving cast member. I'm very excited for this. So how cool is this slipcase? I love it, and I am very excited to read this. They had a limited number of these available, so the first few of us in line got them. I died. Then I picked up a copy of Sisters of the Lost Nation by Nick Medina. He is an Indigenous horror thriller author, and I've been wanting to read from him. He's got a new book coming out soon, but this one was available. A young Native girl's hunt for answers about the women mysteriously disappearing from her tribe's reservation leave her to delve into the myths and stories of her people, all while being haunted herself in this atmospheric and stunningly poignant debut. So I got that sign. Beware the rolling head. Thank you to Nick. That was neat. I'm really excited to read this. I've heard good things about it, and he was part of a panel that was really entertaining. Such a good panel. I didn't buy anything new, but I also got my copy of The Honeys signed by Ryan LaSala, which was very exciting because y'all know it was one of my favorite books last year. It was a really good day. It was really fun. Also on the panel was Geneva Rose. I ended up getting this for free. A friend, they were giving them away to people who'd bought other books from her, and she had already owned a copy. So thank you to Kirsty. You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose, which sounds really interesting. So it follows an overworked New Yorker looking for a total escape from her busy life and books an Airbnb on a ranch in the middle of Wyoming. When she arrives at the idyllic getaway, she's pleased to find that the owner is a handsome man by the name of Calvin Wells, and he's eager to introduce her to his easygoing way of life. But there are things Grace discovers that she's not too pleased about: a lack of cell phone service, a missing woman, and a feeling that something isn't right with the ranch. I think this sounds really fun, and it's supposedly really twisty, so that's exciting. And then finally, there was a book by an author I hadn't heard of before, but when someone was telling me about it and I looked up the book, I was like, that sounds really cool. So I decided to buy a copy of her debut, and then they were also giving away ARCs of her second book, which sounds even better than the first. I mean, they both sound good, but this is Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton. It is a thriller. It's a thriller that sounds really interesting. Tasha Jenkins has finally found the courage to leave her abusive husband. Taking her teenage son with her, Tasha checks into a hotel the night before their flight out of DC and out of Cordell Jenkins's life forever. But escaping isn't so easy, and Tasha soon finds herself driving back to her own personal hell. As she's leaving, a white woman pounds on her car window, begging to be let in. Behind the woman, an angry man is in pursuit. Tasha makes a split-second decision that will alter the course of her life. She lets her in and takes off. So, like, it has these two women. It's a domestic thriller that flips the script on race and gender politics. I mean, it sounds really interesting. So, excited to pick that up. I'd been hearing really good things. And then this, Do What Godmother Says, is her next book, coming out in June. And this one, a modern day writer and a Harlem Renaissance artist are connected by a painting with a deadly secret in this gripping dual timeline gothic thriller. Gothic thriller, yes, y'all know I am a sucker for a gothic novel. So yeah, very excited to check those out as well. It was a lot of fun. So we have a large number of books to add to the TBR, but I'm very excited about them. Hello, I have 2 boxes to open, publisher mail and something that I bought on sale. And I realized with the hood down, this just looks like kind of a boring tunic, but I actually got it in the Star Wars area of Disney and I kind of love it. So we're gonna wear the hood, because why the hell not? I have a package from Macmillan. It feels novella sized, so I'm guessing this is something from Tor.com probably. Let's see what they sent me. They're always very good to me, which I appreciate. Oh, yay! Okay, this is a finished copy of The Truth of the Aleke by Moses Ose Utomi, which I read and really liked, and I am so excited to be able to put a finished copy on my shelves. This is the second novella in the series that is African-inspired fantasy, and I really like it. The first book was pretty good and feels kind of like a fable. This one does more character development and world building and does some really interesting things thematically. I don't want to say too much about it, but definitely recommend the series if you haven't picked them up. I think they're really good. So then Subterranean Press was doing a 50% off sale on a bunch of their titles. Their books are normally very expensive, and so I'm quite sparing with what I purchase from them, but as a book collector as well as a reader, sometimes I do buy stuff. And so I decided to buy a book that I had eyed previously but didn't buy because it was a little pricey for a novella, which I understand why. It's got a lot of artwork in it, but it was half off. And it shipped very quickly. If you're not familiar with them, Subterranean Press does these beautiful cloth-bound special editions of books, often with art. Some of them, like this one I bought, are exclusive, where this is the only place you can get a physical copy of it, although they do have digital copies available. Some of them are just like fancy editions of popular books, but I'll show you what I got. It is a companion novella, or maybe collection of short stories. I'm not 100% sure. This might be bigger than I was expecting. Hold on. Which might actually account for why it's a little pricier. Oh, okay. Yeah, the size of this is much bigger than their usual novellas, which is probably why it was more expensive. You can't always tell, so, but this is related to a series that I haven't actually finished yet. Honestly, I read the first 2 books and really loved them and haven't returned to it. I need to go back and finish the series, but listen, I'm very excited about this. Very well wrapped. Ooh, it's so pretty. Okay, so this is An Imperial Retinue by Josiah Bancroft. This is part of the Books of Babel series, and I really loved the first 2 books. It's really interesting. This one expands upon it, so it's a collection of short works building upon the tower in directions both acquainted and strange. So it's a collection of short stories. It's this beautiful cloth-bound book. It's so pretty. And then I know there is artwork. So this was published from them. Like, just the quality of the paper, everything about this is just really beautiful. The font is really big, so they must have made this bigger than usual. That must be why it was more expensive. So we have some illustrations. I feel like I probably missed one in there somewhere, but there's one. I really need to finish this series. There's another one. I probably need to honestly reread the first 2 books. It's weird, but really unique and interesting. Oh wow, these are so pretty. I do really love illustrated books. We've got this illustration, this one. So yeah, this was half off. Oh, there's like a bunch. There's like a ton of illustrations towards the back. So cool. I love it. So yeah, very excited to add that special edition. Usually they are signed, but this one is not. Deluxe hardcover edition. It was originally $60. It was on sale for $30. I'm pleased to have that. So I do need to continue with the series at some point. Hello, I got a package from Amazon. I don't think I ordered a book from them, so I'm guessing this is maybe something from my wish list. I don't know. Let's see. Yes. Oh, this is so nice. This is from Mel, a book fiend named Mel. Thank you for being my co-host for Roll of Reads. I've heard great things about this book. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Mel. You did not have to do anything. Oh, yay. Awesome. Braiding Sweetgrass for young adults. So I wanted to have this for when my kids are a little older because I loved the adult edition so much, and I thought it was really cool. So this is by Robin Wall Kimmerer, adapted by Monique Gray Smith. Indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and the teachings of plants. The original is such a beautiful book, and I could actually see my oldest kid being really into this, honestly. So thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. And definitely go check her out. I am co-hosting a bit with the Roll of Reads Readathon in March, and she's lovely. She's an Australian booktuber, and you should go follow her if you don't already. Thank you. Hello, I have some publisher mail to share, and I have 3 books that I picked up at a really fun book event that I'm just realizing I don't think I ever shared. So let me do this now. I went to something called the HE Afterparty at the book club bar in Manhattan, and it featured 4 romance authors, one of whom I already had the books from, so I didn't buy any, but I bought 3 from the other 3 authors. It was a lot of fun. We had drinks and little snacks and listened to everybody and got some books signed, and I would recommend going and checking out Book Club Bar. They have a lot of great events if you're in the area. But let me show you the 3 books that I ended up buying, which I didn't plan to buy 3 books, but hey, I'm supporting a local indie bookstore, so I'm not mad about it. First, we have Pride and Protest by Nikki Payne. This is a contemporary retelling of Pride and Prejudice. I'm really excited to check it out, especially after listening to Nikki Payne talk about her history with Jane Austen and why she wanted to do this. I'm also I decided to sign up to go to their monthly book club, which is reading the sequel to this, Sex, Lies, and Sensibility. And it's been a really fun contemporary take on Sense and Sensibility so far. I'm listening to that one on audio, so I'm excited to also read this one. I also picked up a copy of Tastes Like Shakar by Nisha Sharma. I haven't read the first book in the series, Dating Dr. Dill, but these are all contemporary South Asian takes on Shakespeare. And this one is Much Ado About Nothing, which is probably my favorite Shakespeare play, so I'm very excited to see how this goes. We have an egotistical chef. Like, I love the tropes of Much Ado About Nothing, so excited to try that out. I read and reviewed her debut YA novel years ago and went to the launch party, and she still remembered me, which was so sweet. But yeah, excited to read that. And then lastly, we have Island Affair by Priscilla Oliveras. This one has a social media influencer who's in recovery from an eating disorder and a firefighter, paramedic, and dive captain who's going to pretend to be her fiance, so a fake relationship, which I also love. Very excited to have all three of those, and they are all signed, which was really fun. And then we have a package from Macmillan, so probably something from Tor, I'm guessing. Well, it could be a couple of things. I've had emails about a couple books. Oh, cool. Ooh, look at that cover. Did I know about this? I don't know, but I will read it. It looks awesome. Masquerade by Oo Sangoyomi, coming out from Tor Forge in July. Beautiful. An incisive examination of gender, temptation, and the lengths people will go to hold power. It's a debut novel set in a reimagined 15th century West Africa, a dazzling lyrical tale exploring the true cost of one woman's fight for freedom and self-discovery and the lengths she'll go to secure her future. Oh, loosely based on the myth of Persephone, with political intrigue. I am very excited for that. That sounds so up my alley. Thank you so much to Tor for sending along a copy. I'm excited to check that out. Comes out in July. Amazing. I have an order from Pango Books, and I'm pretty sure this is something I've already read that I used some credit to buy. I bought a couple of books on Pango that I've read before that I just needed to add to my collection. Let's see which one this is. Ah, yes. Okay. Ha 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 ha. It is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I bought this, unsurprisingly, for the Mass Effect read-along that I'm hosting for the next couple of years. I didn't need it right away, but they had a discounted copy on Pango Books, and I think this is the final book that I needed to add to my collection to have all of her books. You know what's funny? I originally pre-ordered the hardcover, and I didn't like it. I was annoyed, and I sold it. And I kind of wish I'd held on to it, especially because they're worth a lot more now, but it's fine. I have this to read. I've got two packages to open. Don't they look so beautiful for spring? This one is a book that I ordered from Pango that I've already read, and this is publisher mail. So let's start with my Pango order. I used credit to buy this. It's something I listened to on audio. It was one of my favorite books this year, so I had to own a physical copy. This is The Changeling by Victor Lavelle. Oh, his writing is so incredible. It's a blend of contemporary fantasy and horror that draws in mythology, a lot of layers to it. I just think his writing is absolutely incredible. So love that. It's going on my favorites shelf. Then we've got a package from Hachette. I'm not sure what it is, but I love this kind of like robin's egg blue color. Okay. Ooh, yay! Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, this is A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Cathrall. It goes on sale in April, and this sounded really good. Dive into the curious correspondences of Sylvie Cathrall's delightful debut, a romantic epistolary novel that will take you to the depths of a magical sea and to the limits of the imagination. Ah, yes! Thank you so much to Orbit. I'm excited to check that out. I am here to wrap up this video, and I've got two packages to open. It's almost the end of the month, and I don't anticipate anything else coming in. One of these is from a publisher, and one of them is an order that I placed. So let's start with my Barnes & Noble order. This is for Patreon and channel member book club. Ah, yes. And that is some manga. In May, we're going to be reading the first 3 volumes of a manga series that was recommended from Ashley at Bookish Realm, and I am very excited to give these a try. So this is the Apothecary Diaries by Natsu Hyuga. This is volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. These look super cute. The greatest detective of the inner palace is born. Mao Mao, a young woman trained in the art of herbal medicine, is forced to work as a lowly servant in the inner palace. Though she yearns for life outside its perfumed halls, she isn't long for a life of drudgery. Using her wits to break a curse afflicting the imperial heirs, Mao Mao attracts the attentions of the beautiful Jinshi and is promoted to attendant food taster. But Jinshi has other plans for the erstwhile apothecary, and soon Mao Mao is back to brewing potions and solving mysteries. So it's like a cozy fantasy mystery type thing. It looks really cute. So we're going to be reading those in May. And I picked them up from Barnes & Noble. Then I have a package from Macmillan. I'm not sure what this is. It might be from Tor. I know they've emailed me about a couple things recently. Let's see. Oh, okay. I forgot about this. So Fierce Reads, which is the YA arm of Macmillan, is doing this new thing where they send a backlist title to their reviewers once a quarter, and you can kind of rank what you want, but you don't get to just pick it outright. So the one I ended up with is Descendant of the Crane by Joan He, which I have not read. I think this is YA fantasy that's East Asian inspired. Treason, Trial, Truth. For Princess Isina of Yan, the palace is her home, but her father is her world. He taught her how to defend against the corruption and excesses of the old kings before revolutionaries purged them and their seers and established the dynasty anew. He was supposed to teach her how to rule. The imperial doctress says the king died a natural death, but Hesina believes he was murdered. She's determined to bring his assassin to justice. Interesting. Cool. So kind of like a revenge murder mystery type story, I guess. Thank you to Fierce Reads. And as a reminder, moving forward, I am not going to be doing monthly book hauls like this. I'm going to be opening publisher mail in shorts, and I will do occasional sort of come book shopping with me type videos or things of that nature. But I'm just not feeling that excited about doing these in this format anymore. So I'm going to try some new things, and hopefully this will open up space for me to do some other more creative videos. I feel like we had so many more books coming in this month than I was expecting. Part of this, I think, is because I went to a couple of events where I ended up buying books, and I'm not upset about it. I was able to support some local indie bookstores. I was able to support some great authors, but it did mean that my TBR was growing a tad. But hopefully this was fun. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts or feelings on anything I talked about in this video. And for your question of the day, let me know what you think of this change. I know there are some people who really enjoy the book hauls every month, but just looking at the numbers, they don't tend to be among my most popular videos, and I just want to try doing something a little bit different. So we're going to shift and kind of see how this goes. Keep an eye out on my shorts because I will be doing unboxings there, and I'm excited to continue sharing whatever I get in the mail from publishers in a little bit of a different format. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, it always helps if you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.